broadcasting from Fentas, Kuwait. This is to me and Larry reality video show LTL editorial news for November 11th, 2009. Why has LTL got this mask on? Well, I'm doing surgery right now. Surgery on this headline. And I want to, since it was 2 days past, to the veterans. On Veterans Day, honor and love and respect to all U.S. soldiers. That's Air Force, Navy, Marines, Army, National Guards, the U.S. Coast Guards, all across the world. I'd like to respect you and show my love for you. Because I did not know, and it's my fault, I apologize to you all, soldiers all over the world, the U.S. soldiers. I did not know that Veterans Day was a Monday, was observed Monday. Usually I thought Veterans Day was on the 11th, usually be on the 11th, November 11th. But it turned out to be November 9th. And interesting, everybody else on November 9th forgot it. Matter of fact, the famous Stars and Stripes. They concentrated on the 20 years in Europe. And they passing, the House of Representatives passing the health care. That's one. Here it is from Air Times. The same thing on the 9th. Same thing. And Kuwaiti Times. Same thing. So for Veterans Day, they was really concentrating on the passing of the health care bill. I would get down to that when I deal with the conspiracy theory news on health care. But let me get back to our veterans who serve our country. And they was discredited. We did not have nothing about it. I didn't hear nothing. It almost feels like, why they put on the uniform? Why they go out to Iran, Afghanistan, Kuwait, Kosovo, along with other places, Korean, South Korea, different places, Philippines at that time, or Japan. I mean, I know the story of last week and what happened shouldn't bring down what was going on with Veterans Day. It means so much. And what really also disturbed me, and I told about it a couple of weeks back, about Lieutenant Colonel Beatty Jr. Here he is, 2006, went on deployment to Afghanistan. He was in the National Guards. He had to serve. And he had 2 companies of subways. And he went out there to fight for our country because the terrorists are really out there in Afghanistan, not Iraq. Once we stabilize that, we should have moved on. He's talking about taking it out of the equation again. But anyway, he went out there What happened was Subways, along with another partnership of Doctor Incorporated from Dallas, Texas, ended up evicting him. Evicted his two companies of Subways, and was charging him extra money, and he had to come back and had to get a lawyer and had to pay the lawyer to sue those jokers down there. I mean, that's very criminal. And then to have a spokesman from, not of Subway, for somebody else, the partners who they deal with. I thought Subway was strong enough. I thought Subway was the number one that took over McDonald's. You would never take over McDonald's. Even McDonald's would at least show consideration of the soldiers if they had, if Lieutenant Colonel Beatty Jr. had two McDonald's, it would still would have been going on, be good, and be strong. And not to be shared with no other partnership. That's criminal. And that's why I put down America was missing two true colors, yellow and green. And discrediting the soldiers and the veterans. That all the spokesman from the partnership away from Subway saying, we honor our soldiers that fight, but as far as the ownership, we have no comment. We can't say nothing. No, you just want to take it. You're trying to be criminal and try to start capitalism, and you can't, because it is ruled by institutionalism, the banks. You was trying, he didn't have the money to pay off the banks. That's what it was. And Subway didn't have the heart to tell them. They had to have the other partnership in Dallas. That's weak. You know, on that occasion, LTL would have said, on that day, all you soldiers over there, whoever tried to go to Dallas, go to Subway, in that area that Lieutenant Colonel Beatty Jr. Had his two shops of Subways, I would not go there to eat at that Subways, those two Subway shops, because those are criminal. He deserved to have those two shops, and then to honor the other soldiers with a sandwich or with salad or something. And have others to support them by maybe to pay in their meal or something to help them out. That's out of love. But Veterans Day was for health care. I can't believe it, but I want to have a spotlight on that, on the LTL conspiracy theory news on that. But the soldiers deserve much better. And not to have the big story of today, which is of this magnitude. The sadness coming out of Fort Hood from the Arab Times right here. And of course, Stars and Stripes. I know that, but what about the others who went out there to Iraq? 4,000 lost their life. And then in Afghanistan, close to 900 lost their life. Think about them as well. Don't think about what happened with that suspect. He's already going to receive the death penalty, more than likely. You concentrate on that more than you concentrate on the soldiers who was fighting against the enemy. The enemy was happening, and it's not of that person. The enemy is spiritual, but the enemy is trying to make it, bring it home. And that's what it did. Brought it home to where you couldn't concentrate on the soldiers out there. I'll be back with more LTL editorial news.